Here's 5 things your probation officer wants you to know, and don't skip the video. You need to watch the video from the beginning to the end because I'm about to give you all the tips. So the first thing, if you cannot pay your fees, if you cannot do your community service, if you cannot pass a drug test, just show up, okay? Showing up is 90% of the battle. A lot of people don't realize that, but if you show up, then the probation officer can help you. If you don't show up, there's absolutely nothing we can do. All that means is you don't want to do probation, and we're gonna let the judge know that, hey, this person doesn't want to do probation. They haven't showed up, they haven't called, they haven't done anything. That brings me to number 2. Come prepared for a drug test. I cannot tell you how many times I've had somebody in my office sitting there for 4 hours because they could not pee. Drink you at least 2 20-ounce bottles of water, nothing more than that, because if you drink more than that, then it'll probably be diluted, and that in itself is not good because you're just gonna have to retest anyway. That might be a good tip. Anyway, yeah, make sure you come prepared for a drug test because you don't want to be the person sitting out in the lobby for 4 hours trying to pee. If you cannot pay your probation fees in full, say for instance you live in a state where you have to pay probation fees every month. If you can't pay the probation fees in full, at least pay something. Show that you're putting some effort. If somebody owes you $100 and they tell you, hey, I ain't got it, I'm gonna pay you back next week, versus, oh, I got 50 and I'm gonna give you the other 50 next week, wouldn't that be a little bit better? Like, wouldn't you prefer that? So if you can't pay probation fees in full, just pay something, and it lets the court know that you're serious and that you are trying to comply with the terms and conditions of probation. But with that being said, if you can't pay, like you have a physical or something's going on financially, let your probation officer know, because they can notify the court, and then court could probably reduce your fees or even waive the fees completely. Say if you have medical problems or you have a kid that's having medical problems and you have to pay all these things, or you lost your job, whatever the case may be, you can show the court that you are actually in a financial situation where you cannot pay these probation fees and you don't see your situation changing in the near future. Let your probation officer know so they can help you out. Don't just fall behind on fees. Speak up for yourself. Probation is not for everybody. Once you get in it and you realize, okay, this is not what the lawyer told me it was gonna be, just let your probation officer know, like, I don't want to do this, I can't do this, I didn't agree to this. If you choose not to do probation, the only person that's going to hurt in the long run is you. It's not going to hurt your probation officer. So don't feel like you have to be scared to tell them, hey, I don't want to do this. If people don't want to do it, they often just stop showing up. And you know what happens when you stop showing up? The warrant comes out. And then you're going to go to jail. Is that what you want? I don't know. That might be what you want. That might not be what you want. But probation is not for everybody. And if it's not for you, that's okay. After you get into it and you realize that this isn't it, maybe you could talk to your probation officer. They can help you get through it, which is what they're there for. So they'll probably help you see a different perspective to where you might say, hey, you know what, I can do this. Because some people feel like they can't do it in the beginning because it's like, because there's so much going on, you feel like you don't want to do it. But if you have open communication with that probation officer, it can make a world of difference. I know for me personally, I would not want to sit in jail. So I'm not going to tell you. So I'm here giving you the tools, okay? Whatever you talk about with your probation officer is typically gonna stay between you and that officer. Meaning, if your family calls or your boyfriend call, your girlfriend call, your probation officer is not allowed to tell them anything about your case, any specifics about your case. Now, if you're on juvenile probation, that's different. But this is speaking about adult probation because that's where I have the experience in. They are not allowed to tell your family members or your lover or whatever what's going on with your case. So don't be afraid of that. And if they do violate your right in that type of way, that's real suspicious. And I'm speaking of probation in Texas specifically. Now, I'm not sure if it's the same way across the country, but I'm pretty sure it is. With adult probation, they are not supposed to talk about your case with other people. Next thing, rescheduling is okay, but not at the last minute. There's always pros and cons to everything. If you like some help one-on-one, I do offer consultations. Check the link in the description box. You can hit me up. We can do a one-on-one session on Zoom or over the phone. Most of my sessions are over the phone, but if you want to Zoom face-to-face, we could do that too. And you want to address some concerns you have on your situation, hey, I'm happy to help. I'm here to help and I'm ready to help. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to give you legal advice, but I am going to give you my opinion based on my experience, okay? I've been in this field for like almost 7 years, so I got a little bit of experience under my belt. But if you want some advice, hit me up and I got you. And if you stay to the end of this video, I wanted to say thank you so much. And I am going to be posting a video on the 5 things that your probation officer does not want you to know. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.